All right, we are live. Welcome everybody here to the Talladega version of NASCAR Talk, where we're getting ready to not only look forward to Talladega Superspeedway, but also recap what happened last week at Richmond. We got a number of returnees here: Charles Belding,
Hello.
Johnny Gardner,
Hello, everyone.
JT Bryant is back.
Yellow.
Our Sultan of Statistics, Stephen Pollard III.
That's right.
And we've got a new debuter here. Kevin Shearer is here joining us for the first time.
Hello, everybody.
All right, so let's recap Richmond first off. First time ever we had a last lap pass at Richmond. Carl Edwards bumping his teammate Kyle Busch out of the way. First question I gotta ask
run.
the first thing I gotta ask you guys is, did Carl Edwards do the right thing?
I think it was a fair move.
Yeah, I do too.
Fair move. What was in sight? Move that way.
I think it was totally cool. I mean,
Well, here's the thing. Carl Edwards already had a win. Kyle Busch already had a win. They were both locked into the chase anyway. Why not put on a show? Why not see who's got the better car and race it out like competitors rather than, be like, oh, we're teammates. I better let him have the win or something.
exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly true. And I didn't know this, but I was keeping after the race was over with, the NASCAR caught Samantha dropping an expletive.
Wait, who did?
Samantha.
Expletive on tape.
Well, to that point, there actually was some last lap passes in Richmond in the 50s, but they don't count them anymore.
Interesting note. Jimmy Johnson led
Continue.
in a short track for the first time since 2013 at Martinsville.
But, I mean, to me, I thought that was actually a really good finish and everything. And
Oh, yeah, it was a great finish.
And so I'm going to throw out a question like what I threw out back at Phoenix. Was that because of the low downforce package, what we saw here this year for the finish at Richmond?
I think so.
That's debatable in my opinion because
I say it before and I'll say it again. This low downforce package is the reason why we're having awesome finishes this year.
All right, so Charles, you said it was debatable. How come?
well, it's debatable because it's a short track. Aerodynamics don't really mean a whole lot at all. And we've had some good finishes at short tracks. Before the low downforce package, like say like COT Gen 6 before this year, era. I think what made the Richmond race, in my opinion, great though was how I think because of daytime conditions and because Goodyear brought an awesome tire that wore a lot as the run went on, we saw drivers going 2 and 3 wide pretty much throughout the whole race. Depends on the restart. They were actually 4 wide, and 4 wide at Richmond. You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, Chase Elliott pulling off that move that Tony Stewart called sexy. Let's talk about Tony Stewart. I mean, he ended up finishing, I think it was in 18th, 19th, something like that.
Not bad for a return, am I right?
Not bad. And they asked him, they're like, how are you feeling afterwards? He says, let's line him up, do it all over again. So that's definitely a good sign that Tony Stewart not only is back and feeling good, but it sounds like, to me, it sounds like a different Tony Stewart from what we had in 2015, where it was like so discouraged and all that. This sounds like this has kind of gotten him in with a new kind of attitude, maybe kind of the same kind of feel like what Kyle Busch when he was out from beginning of last year with an injury. He comes back. It's like, okay, we've got this mentality. We want to go out there. We want to have fun. We want to win. Maybe that's done the same thing for Tony Stewart.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, it's only one race, so we'll see how he does the rest.
Yeah, I mean, if he keeps up, the only thing I can think though is that if he keeps up that kind of a mentality, watch out for him when we get to the summer races, because that's always been his best spot. You know, Indianapolis, Watkins Glen, those kind of things. If he has that kind of a mentality, I think he maybe end up be able to finally get back up being a contender for wins.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you remember Jeff Gordon? Yeah, last year he announced he was going to retire, but when we went to his wheelhouse of Martinsville, that's when they stepped up. Stewart's retiring after this year, but his wheelhouse is the summer races.
Exactly true.
Yep.
So let's talk just a little bit more about Richmond before we go to Talladega, because obviously Talladega's probably got all of our attention right now. For you guys, was there anybody that stood out for you as far as getting a good finish there at Richmond that maybe you didn't really expect was going to be up there competing at all?
Casey Kane.
Yeah.
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 Casey Kane
That
got
team-
his first. He got his first top 5 finish since last year at Kansas in October. It was actually top 5 throughout most of the race, and this might have been talked here before or not, but during the Easter off break, I think Casey Kane won a sprinter race ever since, and I think kind of ever since he won that race, he's actually performed better, maybe more confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, Casey Kane needs to run a Mountain Dew car more.
Yeah, he needs to run out, and he needs to run the Dew car more.
So we talk about the Richmond also. Is Dale Earnhardt Jr. running the Xfinity Series now?
Yeah, right.
That actually was his second Xfinity race of the year, and he was only planning on running 2 Xfinity races this year, so he's done.
Yeah.
I gotta say too, I was pretty impressed with the run by Trevor Bayne. You know, I've been basically saying, you know, Trevor Bayne, they've got the qualifying speed, they haven't been able to really follow it up with the racing speed, but the last few weeks, they've actually been able to kind of back up their qualifying results with good runs. They qualified 17th, they finished 17th, so they didn't gain, they didn't lose. This says to me, at least in the 6th camp, that they're on the right track. And we've seen a good finish out of Biffle, too, in 14th place. So, you know, we were saying last year, and we were saying the beginning of this year, especially heading into Daytona, that Roush Fenway Racing was really, it seemed like, really losing it as far as their good finishes and everything. What with, you know, they were kind of like in rebuild stage with getting younger drivers like Ricky Stenhouse and Trevor Bayne. And would this be the year that they'd step up and actually be able to get good finishes? The signs of what I'm seeing out of that 6th camp, and we know that Ricky Stenhouse Jr. can run good. We know Biffle can run good. I think they're finally on the road to recovery after losing, you know, a lot of the big names like Carl Edwards. They ended up losing Matt Kenseth. You know, I think now they're finally being able to, you know, establish themselves. They're finally getting themselves into a good spot where we could see potentially one of them in the chase this year.
I'm going to disagree on Greg Biffle because I feel like Biffle is actually off to the worst start of his career since 2003, and I think he's just, in my opinion, I think for me his competitive days are over. But Stenhouse and Bayne are actually having.
I think Roush's competitive days are over.
I don't know if they're necessarily over when you look at who they've gotten like developmental down in Xfinity.
Yeah, but before I forget, a Richmond penalty was announced that Nick Sandler will not be at the race this weekend. He's
Right.
suspended today for this weekend.
Okay, so let's look ahead to Talladega Superspeedway. We got Xfinity
Yeah.
today. We've got Sprint Cup tomorrow.
Out it.
If the rain doesn't get in the way.
Exactly.
Well, the last time we ended up having rain at Talladega, we ended up having, or not at Talladega, but the last time we had rain at a restrictor plate track, Eric Almirola ended up winning. So, you know, if we could get the race going, get to halfway, and have an underdog up front, I wouldn't mind seeing rain.
Well, they're calling for a 70% chance of thunderstorms after 8 a.m. tomorrow and before 8 p.m. tomorrow night, so we were possibly discussing about a Monday race then.
Well, the thing is, when I check the forecast, there right now it says 80% chance of rain for Sunday, 80% chance of rain for Monday, 60% chance of rain on Tuesday. So there is a chance. I think it's a small chance, but there's a chance that we could have a weekend washout for a Cup race.
Well, if that
I have
happens,
an idea. How about if that happens? How about we take Talladega and we make that the season finale after Homestead?
Now, hold on here.
That-
Let me
that's-
look at this here really quick. I'm going to pull up the schedule really quick here.
That's actually the rule. That's what happened in New Hampshire 2001.
Yeah,
Well, no.
really? They moved it to the season finale?
Yes, that's the rule.
Well, no, I think if like the Cup race gets washed out completely, then it would go to the next off week. So that means we would have a June Talladega race.
Exactly. That is
No.
exactly correct.
No, it goes to the last race of the season. That's
Oh.
always been the rule.
No, it wouldn't.
No.
Yeah,
Listen, because of remember 9/11 of 01, the race was supposed to be in New Hampshire. That got moved to the season finale because of the terrorist attacks.
yeah.
The thing is, that got moved to the season finale because the thing is, there were no more off weeks, so it had to go to the season finale.
Mm-hmm. And if I remember correctly, the last time that I recall of a race being moved onto a schedule to an off week was in 1993 after the blizzard of '93 that hit down in Georgia because of the race down there.
There was a Talladega race in 1997 that actually
It got moved to Mother's Day, correct?
well, it got moved to the day before Mother's Day. It was supposed to be a mid-April race, but it got moved to the day before Mother's Day because of rain.
Yep. That could happen here.
I'm going to settle this dispute right now. I am currently in the process of sending off a tweet to NASCAR to find out what would happen if the race weekend got rained out.
God damn.
I am seriously doing that. I am doing that right now.
But here's the thing, though. I'm looking at the schedule right here, right now, because my internet's so slow, but it's working today.
The last race ran on a Tuesday was Michigan 2007.
Nope. Atlanta, 2011.
Second to last Tuesday race.
The last available off week is Father's Day, June 19th.
I don't know if they was running on Father's. I don't know. It's NASCAR.
Or
They run what is it? Is it Martinsville on Mother's Day? What's the one they run on? What do they run on Mother's Day? There's a track they usually run on Mother's Day, and I can't think of which one it was.
Kansas.
Which is next week.
Kansas is next weekend.
Gotcha.
But here's the thing, though. I'm looking at it right here, right now. Best bet is the 19th. That's all. And it's probably going to be on FS1 or Fox. I don't know yet. It's too big. I'm going to call it June 19th market for Aaron Swerner.
I think they'll get the race in at least. Hopefully.
I doubt. I've been keeping close eyes on that too. With Charles, it's not going to look pretty. And qualifying's supposed to be on today on Fox at 12:30 Eastern, and I think that's going to be like a washout.
And Colwood with DNQ again if it gets washed out.
Actually, no. Hold on here. If I remember, it says for the.
No, it would be him because I think he was the lowest. Yeah, he was the lowest of the non-charter, the slowest of the non-charters. Because Regan Smith, he was the slowest, but he
has a charter.
Oh no, wait, no, it would probably be Josh Wise.
It would be Josh Wise going home.
Yeah, he's 7th on the qualifying order.
If you look at Janksky, they say Colwood would be the slowest. Is what I read.
What do they go by? Average speed of both practices?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Then that would make sense.
Yeah,
okay.
It says the combined practice times if qualifying gets rained. Oh, okay. Josh Wise is actually not Colwood. Wrong name.
All right, pay up.
Okay, let's see.
It doesn't shock me. Colwood is. I wonder how David Gillen's going to do in the 35 if he makes the race.
That's the question of the day right here, right now.
Hasn't made a start since.
I'd say he does pretty good because front row usually brings their A game when it comes to restrictor plates.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember when Cole Witt drove the. Did he qualify for a Talladega race when he drove the 26?
Yes.
Don't remember how he did though.
He started part.
Oh.
Well, and the qualifying order up right now what it's supposed to be. Hey, that's I don't know how that's gonna do though, but Matt DiBenedetto goes out fifth.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see a lot out of DiBenedetto because even when Johnny Slaughter drove for
BK.
they were good. Yeah.
That's how I have to win on a fantasy group that I'm on Facebook. Come on, DiBenedetto. What if he made it into the chase? No! Come on, that would be hype.
All right, I just sent off my tweet to NASCAR. We'll see if they respond.
So what do you guys think about if Ty Dillon wins Stewart's in the chase? How do you feel your feelings on that?
Rip.
Well, here's my thing. Okay, I don't have anything against Ty Dillon, but when we go to Talladega and there's a Dillon in the 14, I fear for Casey Mears' chances of finishing the race.
Ever since 2000
I know. I have flashbacks constantly of Austin Dillon snapping that car around, and then the only car out of the field that plows into him is Casey Mears. So
he needed some Geico.
And both drivers were on track for good finishes, I believe.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I think Austin was running either third or fourth in that line, and I think Casey was like 10th or 11th. So yeah.
Yeah. He even was pushing Michael Waltrip in 2012 and got caught up in that big one.
Don't remind me about that one. That was Stewart that did that one.
You dumbass!
I'm so glad he flipped over, too. He deserved it.
Wow.
And in my life, though, Brad Keselowski even missed that big one, too.
Yeah.
Right? And
So did Gordon. Gordon did a nice job of avoiding
Yeah,
that.
Gordon and Bush drove on the apron and avoided the whole thing. Greg Biffle was flying over him.
Flop, we're going through it. We're not going to make it. Oh, yes, we are.
That though, I gotta tell you though, that race though, with them going 4 wide, like 4 or 5 rows deep, that was pretty doggone awesome. I mean, I wish it hadn't ended with that huge wreck, but still, I mean, the way they were able to keep that together that way, that was amazing. So that leads me into this next question. We're going to Talladega. We've got the low downforce package. We saw at Daytona that Joe Gibbs Racing single file freight train at the front of the field. Are we going to see the same thing take place here at Dega,
Yes.
or are they going to race it up at least a little bit?
Wait, I don't think the low downforce package is forced at Daytona or Talladega, if I remember correctly.
I think Kev is right, though.
I think so. The Gibbs car has been down, but the Hendrick cars are ran good here too. I wonder how Junior's going to do.
Yeah, everybody seems to be picking Dale Jr. for this one, as if it's like the only track that he can win at, and that's not true.
Unless
it's
obviously
one of his better tracks, but
Dale Jr. is bringing Amelia back.
yeah,
Like I said,
I know they fixed her up from Daytona.
Unless we have rain at Phoenix, he can't win.
And also, before I forget, Dental's been announced to sponsor the Eldora truck race.
Wait, what's the sponsor?
Dental.
Oh.
I wonder what the scenario would be for Xfinity qualifying if that got rained out.
I don't know.
That's actually happening right now, supposedly.
Right now, we have 70 degrees and sunny at Dega. So, fingers crossed, we got, an hour and 45 minutes till Sprint Cup qualifying.
Yep, we do. And it's going to be on Fox, I believe.
Yeah, FS1.
Qualifies on FS1.
Is it raining?
No, right now it's sunny. According to AccuWeather.
Well, Saturday's looking good as far as weather goes, but Sunday, if they're on, is uncertain.
Yeah.
So,
If they can get most of the Xfinity racing, they'll be good.
Yeah.
Their race distance is 113 laps, so I'm thinking what halfway is.
What time is the Xfinity race? Probably 3:30?
I thought it was 117 laps.
No, 113. They shortened it down to now.
Oh, it's at 2 o'clock. Xfinity race is at 2.
But, well, the best bet I see is for Wednesday, and I don't think
Oh,
they
they're
will.
doing Xfinity qualifying right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yes.
Got a new notification. Okay, some other person just messaged me on Twitter, and they said that the latest date that the Dega race would go would be Tuesday this week.
What it says, for Tuesday's forecast is mostly.
Yeah, they can't go until Wednesday because the other teams have to get to Kansas.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. I wasn't unfortunately able to fit in that if the race weekend was completely rained out, but
But the duration of
I
rain.
don't know. I'll wait for NASCAR to reply.
The duration of rain would be 2.5 hours. And just to answer your question, Seth, I just got a notification on Facebook. Daniel would like to be added into this
Oh, okay.
because I have my phone on for Facebook. So
Yeah, I got Facebook up too. I just saw it too.
okay. But later in the night time, there's not supposed to be any rain though. But I want to see the hourly on that though for Tuesday.
Yeah.
Let's get some lights.
But Talladega doesn't have lights though.
Yeah,
Right.
they really need to get lights for Talladega.
Also,
I don't know why they haven't done it yet.
Well, thing is, lights should have been put up years ago, but I think they really should have put up lights after what happened 3 years ago.
yeah.
When both the Xfinity and Cup races, they got a little too close.
Yeah, but here's the good news. I'm looking at the weather right now for Tuesday. The best window for May 3rd for Talladega is between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. because there's hardly any thunderstorms in the area, so...
All right, so let's say so 11 a.m. So let's say they actually do get the race going at what is it scheduled for 1:30, 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, I think they could probably get at least halfway before 4.
Yeah, I would agree with that call, too. Because they're calling for more thunderstorms at 4 p.m. there, so...
At 4. All right.
Well, the last rain short and restricted plate race, I think only like 20 cars finished, so it's going to get wild.
Hey, the last rain short and restricted plate race, Eric Almirola ended up winning and got in the chase. So
It was a little, well,
please let there be another scenario like that. That'd be cool.
I don't want to put it like this, but his win was kind of a little fluky. I'm just going to say.
Yeah.
Well, it was fluky, but he worked his way up there to the front, so we can't really say he wasn't going to be up there at the front at the end.
Well, yeah, but half the field did wreck, too. All the best cars were out.
yeah.
Hey, Junior was still there. He stopped. He just parked and waited for everybody to finish wrecking before we drove on through.
Yeah,
So
but
not
he
all
was
the
damaged.
best cars.
Yeah.
He had a lot of damage, so.
And we have a new guest.
Maybe she would have won it.
I need my soda.
All right, back, guys.
There we go. Now we got Daniel here. All right, so we were talking about Gibbs. We were talking about Hendricks. Even picked them out. Is there any other team that we could maybe see being able to do kind of like what Gibbs did at Daytona?
RCR maybe if they got enough speed. Okay.
So Menard, Newman.
Yeah. Well, the 95 is not being run by RCR this week, so they don't have Ty in the 95 to help them out.
Right. It'd be kind of interesting if it came down to with Ty in the 14, if it came down to like being in a freight train with RCR or being in a freight train with Stewart Haas racing cars, which one he would choose.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know, the Penske cars could team up,
Mm-hmm.
and that includes their semi-teammate Ryan Blaney.
Yep.
Yeah.
Since,
It's very interesting to see for me.
For a Penske car.
I'm going to be very interested to see how Chase Elliott does, because if I'm perfectly honest, assessing his Daytona 500, even before he spun out, he did not look like he had a very stable race car. To be honest with you, I thought he at one point was actually going to wreck with Dale Earnhardt Jr. because it just looked like he did not have a good handling race car at all. So, and it seems like when I've watched him in Xfinity races too, that restrictor plate tracks seem to be his Achilles heel. So I'm going to be very curious to see. We know Ryan Blaney can run up there at the front, and but it'll be interesting to see how Chase Elliott stacks up against him, because this year it seems like the two of them have been pretty much even, maybe a little bit of edge to Chase Elliott, but the two of them have been pretty even as far as how they've run. But I think when you come to a restrictor plate track, you got to give the edge to Blaney.
Right on. I
Yep.
agree.
I do
Blaney was in
actually.
the top 5 last year.
I do actually think that. Well, this came to me just before we began, but I actually think that Chase Elliott actually could get the pole again, because last year, which I Ford, the 24 chassis was great in qualifying. It got the pole in three out of the 4 play races, and Chase Elliott won the pole in the Daytona 500. So I'm actually beginning to think that, you know what, he might actually get the pole again today.
Yeah, I think the only two things that could maybe stand in his way are possibly Dale Earnhardt Jr., if they finally have gotten the kinks out, because from what I watched in final practice yesterday, it sounded like the splitter was dragging and everything. They were still trying to get some last-minute things done to make that car good for qualifying. And then the Penske engines, because Logano, Blaney, they were always seeming to be up close to the top of the leaderboard too. So, I agree with you. I think that the 24 has one of the best chassis out there and everything, but it's all really going to depend, I think, on whether they've got Amelia at 100% or the Penske cars are, I think, going to be maybe one of the prime contenders to knock Hendrick Motorsports off the pole. So this is one of the, I think, first times this season that we actually are doing NASCAR Talk before Sprint Cup qualifying has taken place. So we don't have qualifying speeds to be able to go off of when we make our picks. The only thing we basically have is just the qualifying order, the practice speeds, that kind of stuff. So we're going to have to work a little bit harder this week to give you guys your fantasy picks for Dega. Of course, Daytona, they're wild card races, so anything can happen. So we're gonna get right down to it. We're gonna start giving our picks and everything here. So we're gonna start first off with Charles. Same things as we do all the time. Driver that we think is going to dominate, and by dominate, we're gonna just end it a little bit here, being an SS track. The driver that we're gonna see at least stay up at the front in the top 10, that kind of a thing. Not really be a back marker. And then obviously be there at the end to win the race, and then obviously a driver to stay away from, and then a dark horse that we might not expect. So go ahead, Charles.
Okay, so obviously because it's the Talladega, screw average finishing history, because it really is a wild card race. But I think that I think I'm going to go with Kyle Busch as the driver who I think is going to dominate and win the race, because he's ran well in pretty much every single race so far this season. He already has 2 wins, and he's also a past winner at Talladega. And I think based off of what happened at Daytona, with all of the Gibbs cars, I think that chances are Kyle Busch will be able to get to the front and be able to get his second win at Talladega. And the dark horse pick, I'm going to go with a driver that has won at restrictable tracks in the Xfinity Series. And I remember the last time he was at Talladega, he actually had he was having a good performance, especially late in the race. Regan Smith. Also, back in the Daytona 500, he scored a top 10 finish. So I think that Regan Smith could be a surprise. And the driver to stay away from, Ryan Scott. Ryan Scott, I think, is kind of a hit or miss on the plate tracks, but I feel like that. Well, I remember last year where he cut down a tire kind of midfield, and Michael Walsh got collected in it. So that's kind of one of my main reasons why he is the driver to stay away from. Next person.
All right, so we move on next to Johnny.
Okay, now this is what I want to say. My winner, I'm going to say, I'm going to say Matt DiBenedetto for this weekend. He showed potential when he first raced at Daytona, despite getting caught up in that big one. That first bad crash I saw, I was like, okay. But he surprised me with the 6th place finish at Bristol, so this is his time to shine. Dark horse, I'm going to say, I am going to go with Regan Smith, but the driver to stay away from, oh yeah, Michael Waltrip.
Okay. Moving on. JT. Who is muted. All right. We'll come back to JT. Kevin.
Yeah, I'm muted him. Yeah.
Okay, so if this race is going to be anything like the Daytona 500, it's going to be one of the Joe Gibbs cars. I'm just going to pull a name out of the hat here and say Paul Edwards is going to be the Joe Gibbs car that dominates during this race. I'm going to have to agree with Johnny for the driver to stay away from, Michael Waltrip. And the dark horse, as much as I hate this driver, I'm going to go with Danica dark horse.
All right. Daniel. Daniel, are you there? I guess he's not there. All right, so move on to Steven.
All right, so the pick to win. All right, I'm hearing myself. The pick to win, I think.
You're echoing.
Yeah, bad. The pick to win, I think, is definitely Junior. He's been the best at Talladega the last few years, and the plate cars is good. If he can break up the Gibbs tandem, he'll definitely do well. A person to stay away from is Bassat. I know he won the 2010 race, but Harvick hasn't ran that well at Talladega the last few years, and he took out half the field in the fall race. And the dark horse, if he can make the race, I think the 98 team of Colwitt can maybe get up there. They've had really good runs, like top 20 with Wise 2 years ago, a 10th last year with Wise. So I definitely think Colwitt can definitely get up there if they have decent enough pit stops and maybe win the race.
Yeah, and to your point, I was actually looking at Cole Witt as maybe who I might pick for a dark horse. I'm not going to. But his last 4 starts, 17th place average finish. His best finish 13th, his worst finish 22nd. So, yeah, the kid can get it done. JT, I believe you're back, so let's have you give us your picks for Dega. Oh, I thought he was back.
It may be Earnhardt country, but I'm going to go with a low ball and say DiBenedetto gets the win. He showed potential at Bristol, and he showed his potential at Daytona before getting caught up in a wreck and all.
But the thing to that point is, I know with the draft you can pull, but the engine does come in effect. He is running a TRD engine on Gibbs engine.
The only thing I also worry about too is, he's good, but I don't know if he's good enough to block a lot of the other drivers that are in the field.
Without taking half the field like Brian Scott.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm worried about.
Dark horse, I would say Mears, but he's usually up. He's usually up there at the end of races at super speedways now. But the person to stay away from, Harvick, not done well at Talladega since 2010 and all.
Another person maybe not to look for is Carl Edwards. Edwards hasn't ran that well at all this season. I mean, not this season. At Talladega, besides flipping.
I just also have to point out one thing about Harvick. According to driver averages, last 4 races, Harvick has the best average finish of 9th.
That's pretty good for him.
Yeah. Highest finish 7th, lowest finish 15th in his last 4 starts. All right, so Daniel, your picks.
All right. I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin to be the winner of the race tomorrow because, remember, he won the Daytona 500, so if he wins Talladega, he's 2 for 2 on restrictor plates, and that's something you got to keep an eye on. My person I got to stay away from as is definitely going to be Matt Kenseth because, like you said, Seth, last week at Richmond, with his bad finishes he's been having in the past couple of weeks, he's really not having the best starts to the season. So that's the driver I would keep away from. And my dark horse pick is somebody I think could be a big surprise to win Dega. I think Chase Elliott could be the winner at Talladega. So we'll have to see how he does tomorrow in the Cup race.
All right, well, I'm actually going to pull a shocker here. This week, my race winner is going to be Matt Kenseth. And the reason that I'm picking Matt is because Denny Hamlin's already got a win. Carl Edwards has already got a win. Kyle Busch has already got a win. So they're all locked into the chase. The next two drivers that the Toyota team needs to work on are Martin Truex Jr. and Matt Kenseth. Now, we know that Matt Kenseth is good at restrictor plate tracks because he was leading at the point of the final lap of Daytona before Denny Hamlin decided to get that outside line going. So Matt Kenseth, he's able to run well at restrictor plate tracks, and I think if you see the Toyota team of Joe Gibbs Racing do exactly the same thing they did at Daytona where they ran together, nobody could get a run on them, I think you're going to see them try and push Matt Kenseth to the front, maybe try and push him to a win, so that way they've got 4 of the 5 Joe Gibbs Racing affiliated cars locked up into the chase for the championship. Now, as far as Matt Kenseth's luck, his luck here at Talladega is not good. However, with the fact that he could maybe have 4 drivers having his back in the closing stages of the race, I think Matt Kenseth's got a good chance, and I think that could be a mentality that these Joe Gibbs Racing cars will have, trying to get as many of their teammates into the chase as possible. The fact that 3 of them have already gone to victory lane also helps Matt Kenseth out, and the fact that now Carl Edwards, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, they can help Kenseth and not necessarily try and juke him out of a win and try and get it themselves. The driver for me to stay away from, I'm going to go with Trevor Bayne. Now, I know that I said that Trevor Bayne's actually been following up his qualifying results with good finishes, but much like Charles was saying, Brian Scott, he's like a magnet for getting involved in the big one. The same deal for Trevor Bayne. Trevor Bayne, in his last 4 starts, has had 2 DNFs. His best finish, 21st place. So I don't see Trevor Bayne really being that much of a contender at the front. I see him more of a 15th or 20th place driver, and when you're in that area, that's when you get involved in the big ones. So I think that you're going to maybe see him get involved in the big wreck if it takes place. My driver for the dark horse, though, I'm going to have to go with a guy who really knows how to race restrictor plate tracks, and this season has been somewhat consistent, but he hasn't been able to get up there into the top 10, into the top 5, hasn't really gotten the media coverage. I'm going with Jamie McMurray, because Jamie McMurray, he knows how to run well at Daytona, he knows how to run well at Talladega. I think this is the opportunity for him to be able to step up. We've seen Kyle Larson's finish get better, so I think that the 1 in the 42, their programs are getting a lot better. And we saw with Jamie McMurray going to the top of the leaderboard for opening practice, I think this is a place where you're going to see Jamie McMurray shine. Much like people are saying that Dale Earnhardt Jr., it's Talladega, it's his country, it's like the only place that he's really going to have a shot at winning when you come to a restricted plate track. I kind of feel that might be the same kind of a deal for Jamie McMurray. I think being at a super speedway track, McMurray is going to be one that you're going to see up there at the end, and not necessarily saying he's going to be one that's going to be able to penetrate the Joe Gibbs Racing cars if they get that fortress up there at the front, but I think he could definitely be up there in the hunt for the win when the checker flag waves.
Rip!
Rip
Where's
what?
TV? I just lost my Fox feed and everything else about below that.
Morgan Shepherd's 3rd.
What?
What?
Wow.
Out of how many?
15.
Hey, I'll take it. Wow. So he's got like 12 cars behind him? Holy cow, when did they get that kind of speed?
And he's not going to DNF.
Yay!
He's going to make the show. Yay!
Woo!
Quentin Moore will be happy.
Can't wait for Childress Racing.
Well, Morgan and RC are best friends, so
Yeah.
Speaking of Quentin, I gotta let Steph know about something for Quentin because I have a request I need to ask you about, but not now. I'll do that later.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think it's one of the 9 tracks Everett hasn't won on his career is Talladega, so maybe he can pull it off this week.
Kensington won at Talladega.
No, Everett has never won Talladega.
The closest he got, he went up into the catch fence about 500 feet before the start-finish line.
Yeah.
Rip.
But he did technically finish the race because he did walk across.
Ricky Bobby style.
Yep.
Let's see the tracks Everett has never won at are. 1 second. And so Edwards never ran a Rockingham, so he doesn't have that burden on his stat sheet. Edwards has never won at Martinsville, Chicago, Indy, Kansas, Watkins Glen, Talladega, Kentucky, Daytona, and Loudon. He's got a long way to go.
So I'm watching here on Twitter, Sunoco Racing posted a tweet, and they had 2 cars go by in the picture. One of them was Dale Jr. The other one, ironically enough, was Cole Witt. Huh. Interesting. So another interesting thing that I was noticing here is the, and I think this is a great decision, especially being at a restricted plate track, they are enforcing the 5 lug nuts on the tires for this race. They're not allowing them to do the shortcuts. So this, I think, here's my questioning. Some teams are probably very used to now doing the 4 lug nut thing. Is this going to throw a monkey wrench in for those guys of having to do 5 lug nuts now? Is that going to cause some pit road problems as far as slowing down pit stops?
Yes.
I don't think so. I think, some of the teams know how to do the 5 lug nut rule. I don't think it's going to be a big factor for them. Now, when it gets to, the end of the race, that could be a possibility, a different story.
Wait, are they enforcing it for the other races, or is it just for Dega?
I don't know. I think.
From here on out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is for the rest of the year.
Huh. Okay, I didn't know that. I knew that they were doing it for Dega, but I didn't know if they were doing it for the whole season or not.
Well, thing is, based on tweets that I've seen, the new rule could have problems with before, because I think Jeff Burton on NASCAR America said that a driver could be penalized for no reason or something like that. So that's kind of my big concern.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't gotten a reply back from NASCAR yet, but if I do get a reply back from them, I'll post the Twitter message on Facebook.
I don't think you'll get an answer.
No, probably not. It's okay. It was worth a try.
Definitely.
So, I know this ain't NASCAR related, but what do you guys thought of the race at Boston getting canned by the IndyCar Series?
I had a feeling that was going to happen.
Definitely.
I'm hearing rumors they might go to Gateway instead, which would be pretty interesting.
Interesting.
Well, the thing is, I think they're using Gateway for a test track for a possible 2017 date.
Yeah, I would like to see the Gateway come back to the Xfinity Series. It's always a fun track.
Well, I'm glad it's back in NASCAR. That's the good thing we can say.
Yes.
What the heck car is that? Wait a minute, I got it. What? Oh. It's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles car for Danica, and I can't really say I like it.
I know.
Yeah, about that.
The Chicagoland race is going to be called the
It's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 400 at
Are
Chicago.
you serious?
I am dead serious.
just like last year.
Just like the SpongeBob. Oh my god. Okay. Wow.
That means we're gonna have turtles dancing in Victory Lane.
No, jeez.
I hope I hope they have a good trophy, because I don't know if any of you saw the trophy for last year's SpongeBob SquarePants 400.
Yes, I did.
That trophy's so squeaky. I could have a better trophy than that.
That trophy last year was so horrible.
Ugh.
Speaking of that, are they bringing that back for this year's Kansas race, or are they gonna have a different sponsorship for the?
I think it's called the Go Bowl. I think it's called like the Go Bowling.
The Go Bowling 400.
Okay, that's a lot better.
Yeah, and Brian Scott will be running the Go Bowling scheme.
Oh, Go Bowling's going to Kansas now, huh? I thought they were used to be at Pocono races.
They can. I think they're gonna do both Pocono and Kansas.
Oh.
I thought that was just like a year or two like deal for like Pocono.
No.
I don't know.
But before I forget, on Bobby Labonte's car this weekend, there's a little sticker on here because of Terry's daughter-in-law's battling breast cancer.
Oh.
Look at that car. Look at that ugly car. Look at that ugly car.
Yeah, I was ready to puke when I first saw that. I was like,
I gotta say, no, I like the blue background kind of thing, but
I like the blue, yes, but it's
don't like the caricatures on them. Ugh.
God.
No.
Well, Danica's being sponsored by the Tooth Fairy this weekend.
What?
I'm dead serious. Aspen Dental is running a Tooth Fairy
Tooth
promotion.
That should be the best line of the year, Seth.
Wait a minute. I gotta see this. Wait a minute. Is there a picture of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on JC's.
Damn.
Oh Lord.
Should also be on the Stuart Haas Facebook page.
All right, let's see. I'm looking at J-Ski. Okay, J-Ski. Here we go.
What?
Aspen Dental Tooth Wait a minute. Let me scroll down and look here. She's got lips on the back of her car. I'm done. No. With lips on the back of her car.
You know, can I just say, that is probably the worst paint scheme, by God, I've ever seen that is...
I like the chrome look.
I'm like,
The way it's on the back of the 10. Lips on the back of a car.
Ken, for the love of God,
My ass.
I back there, please.
I seriously pity anyone who's running behind that 10 car. They're going to have lips staring them in the face the whole time.
Have nightmares of Golden Corral.
Kevin Harvick gonna have nightmares about it?
Ugh.
Like he had
Good
nightmares
Lord.
about
No.
I'm not going to say about kids eating
Burns
free.
with fire. In case people don't know what we're talking about, look at this monstrosity.
Like I just said, I'm going to have nightmares about kids eating free at Golden Corral.
Oh, I'd rather have nightmares about kids eating free at Golden Corral than lips on the back of a car with wings, flying lips.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord, just no. That car deserves to get spun out and go rear first into the inside retaining wall.
I'm back.
Well, that happens. Then I guess we can say that she kissed the wall.
Oh!
Oh!
Snap!
Boom!
That's
Confetti.
Oh man!
Saw that coming.
Burn!
Shit got real.
I can't say I'm not disturbed.
Exactly.
Oh man. Let's see. We got anything else we gotta talk about, or is
Speaking
that
of Michael Waltrip, his birthday's today.
Speaking about it, it's going to be nice to see that beautiful paint scheme 35th.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. It seems like now whenever Michael Waltrip gets a ride, which most of the time are rides that can run up, in the main pack, he usually loses the draft.
Yeah, that's
Well,
Oh, really?
Michael Waltrip just being NASCAR.
Michael Waltrip needs to retire.
Exactly.
Not as much as Dan, because he's just to be not in charge,
I
though.
think there's something about staying around too long. I think he has.
They should have like a. You know what they should have done? They should have had Michael Waltrip and Reed Sorensen both try and qualify the 55. Whoever qualified the highest for the 55 for the race.
Yeah.
Well, you only get one attempt, but bring out the backup car.
Yeah. I like Clint Boyer's AccuDuck Solutions car.
That's another car going to be nice in 30th place to watch.
I don't know if we're going to see him way back there. Because keep in mind, okay, you know, I know that he hasn't been having a great season. That I readily admit. But if you kind of cast him in an underdog role, we are at an SS track, so...
Yeah.
And he did have that good run, where was it, 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
And then he absolutely shitted on the team on Saturday.
Yep.
That was great.
I didn't even actually know that H. Scott still had AccuDoc as a sponsor. I thought that when Allgaier left that they probably lost that sponsorship.
I believe
No.
AccuDoc is run by is either owned by Harry Scott or something like that.
Oh, well, that would make sense then.
Mm-hmm.
John West Townley is back in nationwide.
Yeah,
Why
the
do I
team.
keep saying nationwide?
Yeah,
Xfinity.
they're only running the plate races to get ready for next year.
He had a bad race in the ARCA race last night. John West Townley.
But what John was telling me does have a pretty interesting paint scheme. Jive, it's like lime green.
Did the hand jive?
Yeah, lime green with white numbers.
Wait, what number is he driving?
05.
Oh, he's still driving the 05, okay. Hey, I want to see that paint scheme too.
No freaking way. That sounds actually really good.
What?
I'm watching it on my phone right now. A recipe for Doritos fried chicken.
You guys should go to the NASCAR website and look at some of the paint schemes.
I had
Just fried chicken? That would actually taste good. I've actually had fried chicken with potato chips, so that would probably taste really good.
I've been getting new paint schemes lately.
On a sandwich.
Yeah, I'm going to share that right now if you guys want to check it out. I'll just put it on my wall so you guys can see it. There we go. It's on my wall.
Cool.
Hey, John was telling my D&Q in the hand jive car.
My D&Q?
Yeah,
How would
not-
he do
yeah,
D&Q?
D and F, not D&Q.
Oh, DNF.
Well.
Oh, yeah.
I can't tell. I think he's either in 34th or 14th. I can't tell on the screen.
Okay, I'm just looking at the Jive car. That's got to be like one of the simplest paint schemes I've ever seen in my life.
It'll certainly stand out in the crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'm not meant to watch the Xfinity race at 1 o'clock. Rip.
How come?
My Fox station's not back.
You're what?
My Fox station's out.
Ouch. Rest in
Yeah.
pepperoni
You can
Fox
watch anything
Station.
on TV.
Well, I'm skipping the S-Fox race today to watch it.
Yeah, I wanted to race that, but now I guess I wanted to watch the Xfinity race, but nope.
Well, it's Atlanta, and I ran Atlanta in IRL and didn't do well, so I don't
Yeah,
wanna...
the highest I got up to was 8th, and then 7th, and then my car fell apart.
Yeah, because it's tire wear.
Mm-hmm. And
Yep.
every time I want to go check my Fox feed, I get nothing but a black screen of death.
Ouch.
You should watch live stream then, like me.
I probably might.
VIPleague.se. Plug in them.
Morgan
Somebody-
Shepherd is still 13th.
I'm looking right now. Let's see more. Yeah, 13th place. Woo! Oh my goodness, he ran faster than John West Townley. Ha!
That's a career killer right there.
Townley's Chicken Mobile.
He ran faster than Townley. He ran faster than Bobby Gerhart.
Bobby Gerhardt.
Bobby Gerhardt.
So I'm wondering, Steven, are they going to actually run the whole race though for Morgan, or is it going to be like one of those things again where you like 10, 20 race or 20 laps in, you see him out off track or something?
Oh, here's the
Hey,
thing.
Johnny.
My buddy Quentin is friends with Morgan, and Morgan told Quentin, though, if he doesn't qualify, that this might be the end of the season for him. But right now, as it stands, he is inside the top 15, so...
Well, no. So the thing is, if you make it to halfway, they give you like an extra like 20, and I doubled your money. So they're probably gonna race the halfway.
Oh.
Which will
There's
help.
There's some kind of halfway bonus. I don't know how it exactly works.
Oh shoot! Yeah, there's something that we should talk about that I heard about. I think it was on Tuesday night. It might have been Thursday night. David Starr gone and getting replaced by J.J. Yaley.
Yeah.
The thing is that Starr wasn't happy with the performance of the team, and he really wasn't sick last week. But it's kind of good that it's kind of revenge because he did kick Mike Bliss out of his ride last year.
Wait, when did he do that? Wait, Mike Bliss was in the 44?
No, when Mike Bliss was riding the 19, Starr complained that he was running for free, so he basically tried Starr kicked him out to make him happy, and now he's gone because he wasn't performing. So it's kind of a I don't know how to say it.
Karma.
Yeah, which is good because Mike Bliss did a lot better.
Whoa, Daniel Suarez, top of the leaderboard.
Woo.
Yeah.
Only car to hit 180.
God, these cars are slow.
Hey, yeah, this is a restrictor plate track. We may actually have another Xfinity driver besides Eric Jones win a race.
Are there any Cup drivers in that
Joey
race?
Gase makes the chase.
Yes, Logano is in there.
Elliott.
Chase Elliott.
Chase Elliott. Let me scroll down here, see where the rest of them are.
You know, if Joey Gase wins this race, you know he's in the chase.
Yeah.
That's
He's
funny.
in the top 30 in points.
Oh, he's definitely top 30.
He's going to be top 30 in points. There's no doubt about
An
that.
underfunded team wins the race.
And last year, Joey Gase got a top 5 finish.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a shocker. I was like, yay, 52 car finishes top 5. I approve.
They even left it on all night just for in honor of Gase getting a top 5 on the scoring pylon.
Did they really?
Yeah, they left it on all night.
You know who I'd like to actually see win that race would be Blake Cook.
Yeah.
For Galding, for whatever that Matt Galding Racing.
Yeah, because that team, oh my goodness, this year they have been really good.
You know, they did spend about, I don't know, $7 or $8 million buying Ty Dillon's finished RCR Daytona cars. So they really are trying to win a race.
Yeah, exactly. And Blake Cook's actually really been good this year as a driver too. I mean, he's been up in the top 10 just about every single week.
I think Blake Cook has I think that team has formed like an alliance with Richard Challenges, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true.
Yes.
Well, we know Brandon Jones and Brendan Gaughan are running good, so that would make sense why he'd be running good then.
I wonder who's going to be in the booth for the Xfinity Series race from the Cup Series.
I don't know.
Hopefully someone decent.
Yeah. Yeah, right now Joe Gates is 23rd in points.
Okay.
20
bad.
what? 23rd?
23rd, yep.
Also would definitely be.
And the next two drivers under him in points aren't even racing this week. Mario Goslin and Corey LaJoy. Next one behind him.
Mario Goslin is racing this week, I think.
Mario's racing.
They don't have him listed with a number here in the standings for some reason.
GG.
GG NASCAR.
They've already taken the number off David Starr in the point standings, but they don't have a number there for Mario Goslin. Huh.
Oh, you know, the thing about Mario Goslin, he actually got arrested for something.
I don't know what that would have been.
Oh, he got arrested for alleged sexting in Canada.
Could be worse. He could be Derek White.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, it was Derek White.
poor Carl Long.
Carl Long and Carl Long Motorsport. Hey, he picked up 3 spots in the points last week.
How many points does Carl Long have? Like,
He has 14 points.
Man,
He's behind Morgan Shepherd by 1 point. Oh, shoot.
What?
If Morgan actually finishes good, he could maybe jump up to 35th in the point standings because the drivers above him, you got Chris Cockrum, Brandon Godvich?
Jovic.
Godvich?
Hey,
Martin Roy, Anthony Kumpen, TJ Bell above him that, according to this, don't have rides this week.
hey,
Cochran is into 25 this week.
hey, if we have a 2002, we have to feel Rex and Morgan wins in the chase.
There you go.
That'll make it interesting.
Cochran is in the race this weekend. He's into 25 for Rip Ware.
Why don't they update their point standings? Doggone you, NASCAR.com.
Well, it's NASCAR.com. What do you expect?
I
Rest in
know.
pepperoni point standings.
Yeah, they don't have. Oh no, they have Harrison Rhodes listed as the 25 in the points in this one. Wow.
GG.
Yeah, because Harrison is running the
He
25.
ran it last
Well, not
he
this
ran
week.
25 last week.
Well, yeah, but they should at least have a 25 next to the other guy. I forgot his name. Godvix.
Godovic.
Godovic.
Got to remember that.
Wait a minute. Precision Performance Racing wasn't PPR. Wasn't there like another like big? Was it McDowell or Wise or somebody who ran for that team? Didn't they have like a Sprint Cup Series team at one time?
I think so. I'm not
that's
100% sure.
PPR. The 46 team in Xfinity is called Performance Precision Racing or something like that.
I think it's like a K&N series team or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, it is a Canon team, I believe.
They brought out Viva Motorsports last year.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this week's live stream. So, looking forward to Talladega. We got Xfinity race today, Sprint Cup Series race tomorrow, and then next week we'll be recapping the Talladega race and looking forward to next week, which I believe is Kansas. I'm not certain.
Yes, Kansas is next weekend.
All right, so we'll be looking forward to Kansas Speedway race. So the next live stream will obviously be next Saturday morning. Again, starting time varies, but I want to thank Charles, Johnny, JT, Kevin, Daniel, and Steven for joining me this week.
No problemo.
It's a good day
Always
for the
glad to be
tea
here.
company.
Anytime.
All right, so if you guys are interested in joining us for the stream next week, I usually post on Facebook when the stream's getting ready to go up and everything, so you can just comment or let me know if you want to join. I usually just send out the Google Hangout links and everything. So yeah, so we'll see you guys next week for the Talladega recap, Kansas predictions, and anything you guys want to say before I end the stream off.
Nope.
Go Colette.
Hey, here we go.
I think for the first time ever.
Hey. Well, no stream for me.
Matt Tiff is on the pole right now.
What?
What?
Awesome sauce.
Tiff is on the pole?
Rest in pepperoni.
What?
Well,
Tiff?
Well,
My ears.
well,
Rest in pepperoni earbuds.
well, I think for the first time ever, I was able to make a successful pun.
Yeah! Alright, so we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.